Hey everybody, my name is Silverstone323 and... Wait. Something isn't right here. Oh, sorry. Hi everybody, as I said, my name is Silverstone323 and welcome to my next top 10 video. This one took a bit longer to make, but you know, it was worth it. I really love the Sonic franchise. I've played it ever since I can remember. And I wanted to make a quality video that will hopefully entertain all of you like I have been for quite a while. But considering how much I love the Sonic franchise, I hope it is reflected through this top 10 list. So at the end, you will also see a sneak peek for my next top 10, so please stick around until the very, very end of the video, and you will get a hint as to what my next top 10 will be. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so coming in at number 10, we have Knuckles the Echidna. There are quite a few things about Knuckles that puts him on the bottom of the list, and none of them are that good. For one, he has only one job in life, protecting the Master Emerald. But throughout the series, he almost never is seen doing that. He's always off doing something else. Secondly, he's really gullible, constantly falling for the tricks Eggman pulls on him, and for some reason every time he's completely clueless as to what Eggman's real motives are, and it takes someone from Sonic and the gang to actually knock the sense into him almost quite literally. And in Sonic Boom, he's kind of an idiot. I don't like calling people idiots, but when you make Knuckles, the Echidna of all people, have trouble deciding between left and right, that just shows how much of a step down that took. Now without further ado, I'm going to talk about the positive things about Knuckles, like his design for example, the spiked gloves, the Lego shoes, the awesome looking dreadlocks, and his character. Knuckles is really confident and always makes sure he accomplishes his goals. He also has time to make sure his friends are protected even though he might get injured in the process. Yes, I know he's smiling there, but go with it. Anyway, when he actually is protecting the Master Emerald, he doesn't let anything stop him, even if it's bad weather or bad creatures. Lastly, in Sonic X, he delivers one of the funniest lines, giving off the funniest moments in the entire show. And so yeah, Knuckles, he's a cool guy, he's got some cool moves and such, but it's the stupid things that put him so low on the list. Sorry, buddy. Number 9. If you've watched my previous videos, then you understand that I really like ninjas. And since SBO is a ninja, he's already a good guy in my book. Plus he's a chameleon, which makes it really clever. Okay, who's next? Number 8. You know what superpower would be cool to have? Taking other people's powers and using them against them. And that is exactly what Metal Sonic does. This guy has a lot going for him. Like, just the look of him. Like, he's kinda supposed to look like Sonic, but more menacingly. And that is exactly what he does. First of all, that evil look in his eyes. You know that if you look at this face, you know he's out to get you. So, yeah, don't ever run into him. So, another thing that really grabs me about him, besides his overall design, is the fact that over the series, he seems to be pretty much indestructible. For example, in the Sonic movie, like anime movie, he was blown to bits, kinda sorta, and he still came back. Another instance in that same movie is he drowned in lava, which was technically the end of him, but since then, he has come back in so many different ways, various forms along the way. But really, it's his overall appearance with that menacing look in his eyes that grabs me with his cool power. Who's next? Number 7. Shade the Echidna. Now I know some of you are probably thinking that I'm sexist for putting Shade above Knuckles. That's not the case. I put Shade above Knuckles for various reasons. For one, she is much less gullible than Knuckles from what we've seen. Overall, also, I feel she has a better design with that cool looking suit and awesome weapons. She has these throwing discs like you saw in the last picture. She has like a beam sword sort of thing, and she can drain the energy out of various people. She can also teleport and such. Anyways, in Sonic Chronicles of Dark Brotherhood, I like how at first she's loyal to Ix, but once she finds out his real motives for destroying the world rather than saving her world and her kind, she turns against him and join Sonic and friends in order to destroy him once and for all. So, with that in mind, Jade is a really strong character. I can't honestly think why I wouldn't put her on the list for all that she's worth. Who's next? Number 6. Every good hero needs a good villain. And for the Sonic franchise, that villain is none other than Dr. Eggman. This guy's got a lot going for him, and he's accomplished quite a few amazing feats. For example, let's take a look at his Eggmobile. At first, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's actually capable of a lot more than you think. By itself, it can actually be a weapon of mass destruction, with missiles, lasers, and so on. But it also can pilot various machines, such as a mech that can walk around on the ground, with a turret and gun, a mech that can fly through the air, and a mech that can do both. But for the most part, his Eggmobile is known as a skeleton key, being able to pilot his various machines over the years. I also like how over the years, Eggman has been redesigned a few times, showing him different personalities. Sometimes he can look really intelligent, sometimes he can look really intimidating, and then other times he looks, well, just plain weird. Anyway, Eggman is kind of like the goofy villain, and you're not supposed to really take him seriously. But what really grabs me is the fact that, in the older games at least, his fuel for machines were actually these things. He actually used cute little animals to pilot his machines. I think Boomstick from Screw Attack said it best when he said, "He's PETA's worst nightmare." Pretty much. So with all that out of the way, who's number 5? Number 5. While Eggman may be the goofy villain, Sonic always needed a serious dark villain. And that comes in the form of Mephiles the Dark. Now, I know he looks a lot like Shadow, but I can probably get into that very briefly. But anyway, Mephiles, was able to accomplish something Eggman never did. And that is kill Sonic. He did it in one blow, nonetheless. But anyway, Mephiles starts out by looking like this because he was literally Shadow's shadow. And then, after a while, he gets even creepier by looking like this, with the red eyes, the glowing eyes, and the no nose, no mouth. Finally, listen to his theme from Sonic 06, and tell me that you wouldn't be creeped out if you heard this music while walking down a dark hallway. He's got scary music, he's got a scary design, he's a dark villain, he was able to kill Sonic, and that's why he's so high on the list, because he was actually a really good dark villain. Okay, what's going on? What happened to number 4? Let me fix that. There we go. Now, as I was saying, number 4. In my personal opinion, a lot of the female Sonic characters in this series can be classified as annoying. But a major exception to this classification would be Blaze the Cat. She is quite amazing, actually. For one, she has one of my favorite superpowers, pyrokinesis, which is the ability to control fire. I also like how in Sonic and the Black Knight, she played Sir Percival. Yes, I know Percival is a dude, but in this version, it was a female. And Blaze's character as a whole is really awesome too. Blaze doesn't really have a lot of friends, or at least she doesn't like to accept help from them. But when she does whatever she can to fight alongside them, and does whatever it takes to save them and or the entire world. Even if it means transporting her to another dimension with an evil being, just so no one else can get hurt. Blaze was really inspirational throughout the series. She's strong, she has cool powers, a cool design, and she does whatever she can to help out her friends. I don't think there's one thing I don't like about Blaze. Number 3. You know, I don't think I've seen any Sonic character top 10 lists without seeing Sonic the Okay, who's making these? Oh, right. Me. Let me fix that again. There we go. Anyways, there's a lot I like about Sonic, and some things I don't like. But let's get with the positive stuff first. Over the past 25 years, Sonic has been through quite a lot. Along the way, he has acquired quite a few friends, enemies, allies, etc., each one giving him a new obstacle or a challenge. One thing about him is that he's a cool kind of guy, like that teenager who believes he can do anything he puts his mind to, no matter how difficult. Another thing I like about Sonic is that he often shows that he is not perfect. For example, a lot of the time he can feel cocky, arrogant, and sometimes if he's cooped up for too long, he gets a little bit unstable. Another thing is in Sonic X when he fools with Amy to get what he wants, making her think that she's really cute, but only to get himself off the ship. Lastly in Sonic X is when he uses his dark super form. This is when he can't control his anger any longer after someone getting hurt, and he goes absolutely nuts. But it only happens once or twice throughout the entire series, so it's not too bad. Well, a lot of things that I do like about Sonic, other than that, is that he has my favorite superpower, Super Speed. And with his figure 8 technique, he can move so quickly that you can't even see his legs. And he's acquired a few super forms along the way, if you will, like Dark Spine Sonic in the top right, which allows him to control fire and time itself, along with moving quickly. He's got the Werehog to the left of him, which, while taking away his speed, he still has strength and a lot of durability, and he can stretch really far. He's got Excalibur Sonic, which turns him into a kind of like Super Sonic, but with a sword. And then in the top left, you see flying is Super Sonic himself, which gives him a lot of speed. He can breathe underwater, and he can fly and is completely invulnerable. But even though, like I said earlier, that he can't control his anger, Sonic has a good heart. And every time something happens to his friends, he will do whatever he can to save and or protect them. Even if he gets badly injured, he does not give up. So that means he's also really inspirational. He's taught us a few things over the years, that no matter what he looks like, he can still accomplish what is brought out for him. So Sonic is really cool, he's fast, he saves his other people, and he's not perfect, like he shows. He's admirable. Number 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 06, one of the most infamous games in the entire Sonic franchise, for some very, very obvious reasons. But anyway, one thing that Sonic 06 did really well was introduce a new character that became one of my instant favorites the moment I saw him. Silver the Hedgehog. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, hey, Silver's in your YouTube name and he's in your logo. How is he only number 2? Well, allow me to let you in on a little story. Around the time that Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games came out, one of my siblings was watching somebody's house, and they happened to have this game. And when I was there spending time with her, we played this game, and for whatever reason, I like to use Silver quite a lot, and for a while he was actually my favorite character. Then 3 days later, when I was home, I actually had the urge to create my own YouTube channel. And when I did, I named it after Silver, and it happened to be raining outside, so I added Storm on the end. The only reason why the 323 is there is because apparently Silver Storm was already taken. So now you guys know a little bit of history as to how I created my YouTube channel. It was all because of this game. But anyway, we're here to talk about Silver, not this game. So let's get to it. For some reason, when this game came out, Silver was one of the most hated things about it. And I never really understood that. I mean, they were calling him names. They would say he should go die in a fire, get cancer, and so on. There was even a joke for a while that his head kind of looks like a certain plant that I shall not name. And I guess I can kind of see it, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Silver. He's got one of my other favorite moves, Psychokinesis. This allows him to pick up things, shock things, and even throw things using only his mind. What about that is not awesome, people? As for character, Silver is kinda naive, but he's often influenced by Blaze. So he is kinda strong in both character and power. A lot of times, Silver is having a goal set out for him, and he does whatever it takes to accomplish it. And he may look intimidating at first, but Silver overall is actually a kind of friendly guy. Once you get to know him, he becomes a very powerful ally and friend, so if anything bad were to happen, he probably wouldn't handle it well, which is why he got crushed when Blaze had to be transported to another dimension to save him and everybody else. I also like Silver because, once again, he plays a character in the Sonic and the Black Knight, in this case Sir Galahad. He keeps his powers, but he also has cool armor and a sword in that game, so that's a plus. Overall, Silver is a tough guy who's really inspirational, he's got a good character, he's got cool powers, and just like Blaze, there is not one thing I don't like about Silver. Now before we reveal number 1, I feel like we should at least take a brief moment to go over some of our honorable mentions. Characters that got really close to being on the list, but the 10 that you will see just barely beat them out. The first one is Tails. He's kind of a nice guy, but I didn't put him on the list because as of recent, he seems to be becoming an overconfident little jerk. It doesn't happen too often, but still. The next one we have is Orbot, a little wisecracking robot that constantly messes with Eggman, making Eggman the fool of a villain he is. Next is Emerald. I probably would have put him on the list, but he does the exact same thing Metal Sonic does, but Metal Sonic looks cooler. And of course here we have Vector. A strong guy, but I didn't put him on the list because his voice is annoying and such. And then there's Sonia and Manic. Sonic's siblings. Yep, Sonic actually has a brother and a sister. And he's also royalty. Anyway, Sonic, Sonia, and Manic kind of remind me of me and my siblings. But anyways, I didn't put them on the list because they only appeared in one show and nothing else. So I didn't think it'd be fair to put them here. Alright, now without any further ado, it is now time to reveal... Number 1! Big the Cat. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Big the Cat. He's my favorite Sonic character ever. Just look at him. I mean, he's derpy, he's silly, he's got a pet frog, he does fishing, he's got the best levels, and of course, my favorite thing about him is... Okay, for the love of God, who's making these? Is it you? No? Oh, how about you? Was it you, Jeremy? Molly? Max? No? It was none of you? Then who was it? Oh, it was me again? Oh, sorry. Anyway, not holding back this time, it is for real. Number 1. Oh, you'll never get me alive, Ganondorf. Oh my goodness, oh no, we're gonna fight to the death. What? What, you still don't know what number 1 is? I'm actually kind of surprised, because... Actually, no. I know not everybody follows the Sonic franchise, but still, for the people who have, if you haven't guessed who it is by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But I guess I should tell you who it is. So, number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is Shadow the Hedgehog. There is not a single thing that I hate about Shadow. First of all, his design. He's black and my favorite color is black. He's also got my favorite color combination, black and red. He's got the spiky hair, he's got the cool shoes, and much, much more with the inhibitor rings and such. He's also got my favorite abilities, teleportation, super speed. He's all with those rocket shoes too. And he's got the ability to shoot energy from his hands. I just love it. Anyway, another thing I really like about Shadow, once again, is his character. On the outside, he may usually look a little bit upset or something, but there are instances where he can actually look happy, sometimes he can look sad and even cry, sometimes he looks mad, but I also like Shadow because he's really relatable. Like, for example, we all have that one friend that we can't get rid of, and for Shadow, that is Maria. On Space Colony Arc, Maria was pretty much the only person Shadow ever talked to. And whenever we see Shadow on Space Colony Arc, Maria's always there. They were really good friends, and they were pretty much inseparable, which made it even more tragic when that fatal moment happened where she sacrificed herself to save Shadow. That actually got me for a while. But anyway, it traumatized Shadow for years, but he's actually been able to work past that and is now working alongside Sonic and friends to kick butt whenever possible, and he looks awesome every time. I also like Shadow because he plays Lancelot in Sonic and the Black Knight, which happens to be my favorite story of all time, being King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And he keeps all his powers, meaning the rocket shoes, the teleportation, and so on. But Shadow, like I said earlier, he's really inspirational, and he teaches many things. For example, who do you fight if you don't know what you're fighting for? The second one is, I now understand why I am here. I made a promise and I'm here to keep it. Today, I put my past behind me. Or, one of my personal favorites, if the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have. So, there's plenty of things going for Shadow. Even when he's supposedly a villain, he still looks really awesome, and he believes he can do anything, no matter what obstacles lie ahead of him. Like I said earlier, I don't think there really is anything wrong with Shadow. Even though the amnesia thing may seem kind of annoying, and his game isn't the best, but still. He's cool, he's inspirational, and he's got cool powers, a cool design, and that is why Shadow is my favorite character, and quite possibly video game character, ever. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, feel free to please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, and every single one counts for me. I want to get this channel so high because I want to build a great positive community within the channel so that I can talk with as many of you as I can and get as many suggestions as I can so I can make as many videos as I can. And this isn't set in stone yet, but I'm thinking maybe setting up a Patreon once I get a bit more experience so that I can start having people like get special rewards if they are patrons, and more of that will be probably mentioned once it's more set in stone. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. But I think that's the main thing. If you guys want to tell me your opinions in the comments below as to what your favorite Sonic characters are, feel free to do so. Just please do not criticize anybody else's opinions. I want to keep this community very positive and very friendly. So that's all I really have for you guys today. So thank you guys once more for watching this video. I hope you liked it. And as always, brace yourselves, for in the next video, the storm is coming. Silver Storm out. Next time on Silverstorm 323's Top 10 list.